The next data structure I'm going to talk about are dictionaries. Dictionaries is very Pythonic. Like everything in Python are dictionaries. You can find dictionaries. It's a way to store data, and you can find them everywhere in Python. A dictionary, you define it as any other variable. First, you need a name. So, for example, this is going to be called my dictionary. And to define a dictionary, you need to use these brackets. So once you create these brackets, this is already a dictionary. A dictionary, it's a data structure where you have a key that links to a value. So for example, the keys can be sort of anything, but in this case, I'm going to use strings. They cannot be anything, but strings is the most common thing. And for example, you can put here name, 2 points, and then you write the name. And you can have multiple keys in a dictionary. So for example, here, I could put last name. So maybe we're going to create another key, like, I don't know, height. I will put weight, but I will feel ashamed about it. 1.73, there you go. And maybe I'm going to put, I don't know, age. I don't feel ashamed about my age, so it's okay. 43. Okay, so this is basically a dictionary. Once you have your dictionary, you can access the values through the keys. So for example, you can do my dictionary with square brackets as if it was a list, but instead of putting a number here or an index, you can put a key. So for example, you can say name, and you're retrieving the name value on your dictionary. So let's print this, and let's run this. And it printed Daniel, because we have, we are just calling the key of this dictionary that's called name. Okay, let's try now do a for. You can do a for in a dictionary, for each in, and this is going to cycle through all the keys in the dictionary. So you can print here, and what is it going to print? It's going to print all the keys. And you can say print all the keys, and then let's print all the values. To access the values, of course, you put my dictionary, and you put each, and you print. And there you go. You printed all the keys in the dictionary, and with each one of its values. The dictionaries are not ordered in any way. Like the keys can be returned in any order, so you have no idea of what's the order. The order that you set them up, it's not to be the same order that they're going to be retrieved. In this case, it's a coincidence that it is doing it, but it's not common that that happens. Like usually they will come out shuffled. And the advantage of the dictionaries is that you can not only access names like this. Like for example, this could be my template for a student, but also you could do, for example, maybe let's do another dictionary with if this was like school or a job or something. Let me comment this. This could be, for example, you could have this as part of another dictionary. Like maybe you are going to call departments or groups. So you could create a school dictionary where, for example, you have maybe groups. So you're going to have every group and you're going to access here maybe all the groups that you have. And you can have also another dictionary inside this dictionary. And this dictionary is going to have maybe group A, or just A, because I already wrote groups. And then maybe I have also, of course, you need to assign a value. What's the value of group A? Maybe you have also another dictionary. Then you have the group B. Then you have also inside each group, you have another stuff, like, for example, students. This is my key inside my dictionary. This is nested dictionary. So there are dictionaries inside the dictionaries. But it's a very easy way to organize data or to organize information. Students, maybe inside students, you can find a list of students. And the list of students is, the first element of this is my student. Okay? Or maybe you want to access the students, do you want to access them in a list, or maybe you want to access them by the name? So maybe you could have students name here as a key. So you have another dictionary where the key is maybe the name. So is Daniel Ruiz my key? Daniel Ruiz. And then this contains the student dictionary that has all the information. Okay, so that's what most of the dictionaries are used to store data. You can check here, maybe you could have here another student, and the next student is, I don't know, Jorge Gomez. Okay, and you can have different data for him, right? That I could write here, or I could write it somewhere else. Anyway, so this is how dictionaries work. As I'm saying, it's the easiest way to organize data. Dictionaries also have some functions. For example, we have seen some functions inside the lists or strings. But for example, a dictionary can have a function. All these functions has a dictionary. Like, for example, keys. Keys is going to give me a list of all the contents of a dictionary. So in this case, these are the keys of the dictionary, and they are returned in a list. Actually, it's a data type that's called dict keys, which you can do a for, or for example, I think you could search if name. Let's check name in. Let's check if the key name is inside student keys and see if this works. It does work, and it's returning me true. So you can check with name if you can find a key inside the student. Inside the dictionary. You can also have another one that's called values, which returns the values of the dictionary. Let's print this. And as I was saying, this one returned only the values. It didn't return the keys, it returned the values. One that I used a lot is when you're using a function and you're using keyword arguments. I'm not going to, well, I'm going to talk about that later maybe, but it's very important sometimes to get a value inside a dictionary. So for example, student dot pop, let me put here, and you can retrieve a value that exists in the dictionary. So you can say, oh, I want a name, and I will put here name equals this. After you do the pop, well, name bar, because this is a variable also, no? So after you do the pop, the dictionary no longer contains that value. So for example, here if I print student after I did the pop, notice how the dictionary doesn't contain this element anymore. It doesn't contain name because I strip name by using the pop function. The advantage of the pop function is that, or there's an option in the pop function where you can set the default value. For example, let's pop something different. Let's pop, I don't know, the weight. I was sneaky and I wanted to know the weight of the person. And if it doesn't exist, you can retrieve something different. So for example, you can retrieve here doesn't or doesn't exist. Okay, or doesn't exist. I will need to use this if I want to use a bracket here. I'm sorry, this. Okay, so if this key does not exist inside the dictionary, it's going to return doesn't exist. So I can print here new var name, print, and it's going to retrieve doesn't exist. So I try to look for the weight of the student and it doesn't exist inside the dictionary. So this is what is printing this doesn't exist. And as I said, well, here the dictionary contains name because I never stripped it. Anyway, so these are the most common functions I use in a dictionary. There are many, as you can see. You can check them out, more of them, but I think that's the ones that I use the most. If you have questions, let me know.